Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Prison Architect, as you can see here. Um, to start out with, if you've never played this game, when you first start out, you'll run through a little bit of a tutorial thing, and then after you run through the tutorial, you will have the option to create a new game. If it gives you a map you don't like or you're not really sure, just hit the escape key, come in here, create new prison. You can either select Fog of War or Continuous Intake, and then you have 3 sizes of land. I already went ahead and did all that stuff. I also went ahead and sort of cheated the money a little bit, just because to actually do an effective, good prison and make this video interesting, I'm going to need some more money. So I went ahead and did that. I'm not really sure why there's a tree in the middle of the road here, so we're going to take that out. And as you can see, I have 23 hours and 25 minutes, and I will be receiving 8 prisoners in the category of normal. Right now, we're actually going to go ahead and turn that off. That way I have a little bit of time to build here. First, we're going to start out here with a building. Now, this building here is going to be our welcome center, so to speak. So let's go ahead and build that up here. I'll prove to you here in a minute what I mean by welcome center, or give you a better explanation of what I mean by welcome center. Real quick, don't know why the volume is so loud. Go ahead and turn that down a little bit. Sorry if that was a little loud there at first. We're going to go ahead and speed this up here, just so we can get this building built. We're going to go ahead and hire up to 15 more of these workmen. So we currently have 15 workmen now. That'll really be useful to get things started. But once we get things mostly built, we'll just go ahead and drop that back down to probably about 5. Something like that. That should be good for just basic maintenance and then other small little projects I might do. Alright, so you can see here we need a door. So I'm going to go to Objects. We need a large jail door. Hit the R key if you want to rotate something. So we'll put a jail door right there, looks good. And we're also going to put a jail door directly across from that, so I believe right there. Next, as you're going to notice here, we're going to have all these lights that are going to be installed. We're going to get little lightning bolts because there is no electricity. So we're going to come around back here, and we're going to put in a fence. Inside of this fence, this is going to be our utility closet, so to speak. Power station, we'll stick that right there in the middle, sort of. We'll put a water pump down here in the corner, because that does not matter. And we will put a couple of capacitors here. Since I'm not really concerned about money right now, I'm going to actually go all out here, and I'm just going to load it up with capacitors right now. That way we're just good to go and we don't have to worry about nothing. Now I'm going to run electrical cable here into this building. As you can see, I'm just going to run it all the way through, make sure the whole building gets hit. Alright, next we're going to need some walls here. We're coming here to material. We have brick or concrete. Mostly I just work with brick walls anyway. Occasionally I'll use concrete, but for the most part I run brick walls. As you can see here, I did not build this correctly, so we're going to have to do a little bit of fixing here. We're going to dismantle this door. A little bit of an issue. Go ahead and build that wall in there. And then we're going to build this wall across here. Now, if you notice, I have a jail door currently. That would be the one that's in the box there. So we don't really actually have to pay for this door. Somebody will just come and pick that up and install it. Also, while we're at it, I'm noticing we're going to, very quickly, we're going to need storage. So if we go ahead and build a little fence out here, I can grab the storage, and we can build in some storage. All storage really does is it'll move things that get delivered that you don't actually need, like extra things. Like if I dismantled that jail door and didn't reinstall it, all it would do is somebody would eventually put it in storage here, and then later on we'd be able to use it. Next we're going to go offices. We need to start out with a warden's office. As we can see here, an office needs to be 4x4, have an office, desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet. So we're going to make a 4x4 little square here in the corner. Then I'm going to grab some brick wall, and we're going to put a wall around that. Next we're going to go ahead and probably do a second room. While I'm at it here, where did it go? Sorry about this, guys. I'm a little off when I go through some of these menus. Sometimes I get a little lost. So we'll do another one there, and then we'll do another one there, and we cannot do one here. Okay, that'll be fine. I have an actual use probably for this area later. We'll see what happens. We need to build a wall out here, a wall here, and a wall here. I don't know why I built this so far out. So we have 3 offices to start out with. They're obviously not going to get built yet. And I'll tell you why. Because this is a solid brick wall, and none of these workmen can go in there. So we're going to need to install a staff door there to start out with. Now, we're going to do 2 things over here on this other side. We're going to build a brick wall down the center. So this is 18. So probably about 9. So I'm not really sure where that would be. Probably about here is about the center. It looks good enough to me. Now these are going to be 2 separate rooms here. One is going to be a holding cell. Let's let them get this wall started first, so I know exactly where I need to build. This side's going to be a holding cell. And this other side over here is going to be a visitation room. Now, I may move this holding cell, now that I think about it, just for the sure fact that if you have a holding cell, in there you have to put a toilet. Well, toilets are the start of tunnels. Prisoners can now dig tunnels out. This is Alpha 14. They can dig tunnels to dig directly outside of your prison. That can cause quite a few issues. So I don't want to surround this building with some type of special wall like the perimeter wall here. I don't really want to do that. I kind of wanted to leave this as just a basic building. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. We're definitely putting large jail doors on both of these rooms. That's 100% going to happen. Next, we're going to finish this visitation room. For the visitation room, you need one thing and one thing only: visitor tables. We're auto-saving. Give me a second here. Sorry about that. We auto-saved. I don't know if it lagged a little bit for you guys, but it definitely froze up here for a second. So that's a good number of visitor tables. I'm not really sure that I need that many visitor tables, but we're going to do it anyway. Honestly, I don't think we're going to leave this like this. The more I think about it, I don't like this as a holding cell, so we're not going to do it. We're going to build our separate holding cell. Right here, we're going to build we'll do a 10 by 14. That's big enough. We don't really need a big one. Prisoners, I don't plan on having them in there that long. At first, we'll have a lot of prisoners in there. Once I get a little bit built up here and started, I'll eventually not turn off that continuous intake. You saw that there was an intake of prisoners coming. I'll eventually leave that go for a while so we can build up a lot of prisoners. And in that time, the holding cell will probably be very useful. Now, we're going to need to go ahead and get a jail door here. We'll go ahead and put that there. Inside of here, I really only need two things, benches and toilets, like I said. But we're going to go ahead and probably put more than just benches and toilets in here. Now, we're going to put probably 3 benches. That's probably good. And since we're going to have a lot of prisoners coming in here at first, and just so they don't get terribly angry with me, and since I'm not concerned about money, we're going to put a bunch of beds. Also, they need toilets. We'll give them 3. Now that we're putting toilets in, we're going to need to do water lines. Water lines I'm going to need to run directly like this. It's probably good to run a large pipe, also electrical and pipe. If I do build perimeter walls, electrical and pipe do not go through perimeter walls. So that's something else to keep in mind. Also, I'm going to need to extend my electrical here. Somehow a pipe or somehow an electrical wire didn't get placed there. But we're also going to need to extend this anyway into this room. So we'll go ahead and do that now. As you can see, these guys are working really fast here, really quick, which is awesome. Now we're going to go back to these offices here. I didn't finish them. So let's go ahead and do these. It doesn't really matter what order I put these in or how these get put in here. All that matters is that they get put in. Office desk. So I usually just kind of throw them in there. Kind of organize them a little bit, but for the most part I just toss them in there. Also, we're going to go ahead and throw some doors on here. Not that they're really necessary, but it's a nice little touch. Alright, next, since there are some toilets in here, for right now, I'm not actually too concerned. Honestly, maybe we won't do this. We're going to go ahead and do some perimeter walls here, but we're going to do these a little different. I come out here, we're going to start here. This is just for the time being. I'm not really sure. I may need to move these a little later, but for now, these will be fine. We're going to make these huge, just for the sole purpose that I don't want anybody escaping my prison. Hopefully I line that up. Oh, that's good enough. That'll work perfectly. We'll just run that to there like that. We'll leave this little door open here. I'm actually going to get a staff door. Oops, objects, staff door. Put that there. We're also going to put a staff door there. Not that I really need those, because prisoners eventually should not have access to those at all. But for now, we're going to leave that like that. Next, we're going to need another room. We're going to need a kitchen. 2 things we need: a kitchen and a canteen. I'm thinking I'm going to end up making this the kitchen because I already built this, so I really don't want to mess around with that. And we're going to put a canteen over here. Canteens, I usually like to make them kind of big, so we'll build one giant canteen. We'll do a 20 by 20. I figure if I build a very large canteen now, I won't have to worry about building a very large canteen later. Also, we're going to need to take this here and construct that in brick walls. I know there's a fence there, but if you build a foundation that overlaps an existing wall or fence, it just takes that wall and considers that as part of it. So since that's, even though that's a fence, the fence will still be considered that wall, and I do not want that to happen. Next we're going to need another large jail door for there. Oops. Right there. Also, we're going to put a window in each of these offices. I usually don't do this, but I think I'm going to. And we're going to hire a warden, which exceeds our daily budget because we have no prisoners. So that's not good. We're going to need to come in here and fire a couple of you. And let's try again. Nope. Oh, yep, we got him. Don't know where he went, but we got him. Well, he exists. And since the warden exists, we can start on our bureaucracy, or however you pronounce that. We're just going to go ahead and research everything, again, because money doesn't really matter. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, our warden has made his way to his office. Very nice. And once we start to get this building sort of built, then we're going to go ahead and start putting some prisoners in here. Right now, since we're going to make this the kitchen, you need 3 things to make a kitchen. You need a fridge, and you need a cooker, and you need a sink. So, we put 3 fridges there. 2 sinks is usually good, so we'll just go with 2, and cookers. We're going to put a whole bunch of cookers in here. The more the better. Oh, perfect. And we're also going to put right there a bin or a garbage can. Okay, now we see a flashing little thing over here, so we don't exactly have power, so we'll extend that electrical cable there a few feet. Also, let's check on these guys. They should be building this perimeter wall still, as they are. So it's going to take them quite a while to build this. So not much is really going to happen until they get that built. In the meantime, we're going to move on and build more stuff. There's a few other buildings we're eventually going to need here. We're not going to worry about cell blocks or anything right now. I'll work on cell blocks probably next video. This is just right now setting up basic prison, getting the basic stuff you're going to need. So we're going to build probably another room similar to the same size as I built our holding cell, which I did not designate as a holding cell, which I will now. Also, since I'm in this menu, I'm going to go ahead and grab the kitchen, and we're going to designate that as a kitchen. And we're going to designate this to be built building. Oh, we can't do that yet because it's not built. Never mind. We're going to come in here to objects, and we're going to place a large jail door on this building. You'll notice just about everything I build I place a large jail door on. Most of my big buildings have a large jail door on the outside. Um, occasionally you'll see staff doors like this. Um, Also, you'll see a couple of regular doors here and there. Now for our entrance here, we're going to build up a little bit of an entrance, a little bit of security here. Um, this is just in case somebody happens to get into here, because there will be prisoners in here. I can guarantee you that. Because the visitation center is here for one, so I can guarantee you that. And also, there'll be eventually I'll probably hire some prisoners to work in this kitchen if I can. So there'll be that. Also, the holding cell is not too far away from this door, and it's not that impossible for someone to actually walk straight out the front door, and we do not want that to happen. So what we do here is we build a 3-meter fence on each side, and we grab a large jail door. Now, you see here we have this little 2 or 3 meter little squares here. What I'll eventually do is this little section that I highlighted here, I'll eventually place a guard in there. What the guard will do is he'll pretty much be here to open and close these doors and unlock them for people. That way if somebody gets through this door, there'll be a guard here that can track somebody down. Also eventually, when I get to it, if you don't know this game, recently in Alpha 14 added dogs, canine unit patrol. So I'll eventually post a canine unit patrol that'll go along the whole front here, probably down to about here. And what he'll do is he'll just search around, and if anybody gets out, he can let his dog go, and the dog is actually twice as fast as a human, so he'll be a little bit better at capturing a prisoner. Now let's see how our wall is doing. Okay, so we are over here now. So we're going to need to eventually bring this all the way down and all the way down this way. I'm going to go ahead and actually fast forward the video for now, or pause the video rather, and let these guys go ahead and do what they're going to do, and then I'll come back when it's done, just for the sole fact that we can't really do anything until one of these 2 buildings gets built. And that's probably not going to happen until those guys finish the wall. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, welcome back. That took a few minutes, not a whole long time there. But what we're going to go ahead and do now, we're going to go ahead and set up our canteen here real quick. That'll probably be the end for this video. That'll just be a little bit of the basics that are needed when you start out here. So let's go ahead and set this up. To set up the canteen, you need 3 things. You need serving tables, you need chairs or benches, and tables. Since the kitchen is directly across the way here from this, now what we're going to go ahead and do is stick this here. We're going to do 3 serving tables because 3 serving tables fit. Also, I've decided we're going to dismantle this large jail door off the kitchen, and we are going to eventually we're going to replace one of these with a wall, and we're going to put a staff door in. We may even put a regular door in later once I start to hire workers. Also, while I was waiting for these guys to build this up, I just ran a little bit of piping here for our stuff in the kitchen. Again, each individual cooker and each refrigerator need their own respective power lines, so you actually have to run a solid power cable to them. Also, you have to run a pipe to each of the sinks over here. So I went ahead and did that. Next, while we're in here, I should have probably ran a little bit of electrical here. We do need that for lights in here. And then again, let's go back to this. I keep getting off topic here, or off task. So we're going to need to put benches. I'll probably do benches and tables, honestly. But what you need to do here is you need to do, I usually do 1 space from the wall, and then I do a table, and then you do 2 spaces, a table, 2 spaces, a table, 2 spaces, a table, and that's how you continue to do that. And then I usually do one space between them, and I usually do another set like this. And we can do I'm not sure we're going to be able to put a set here. We may be able to. Well, let's just see what that looks like. Not really sure I want to keep those. And the reason I say you can either do chairs or benches, but the reason I say go with benches is if you're playing by money, benches are $30 and you can fill up a whole table. A chair is $30 and it only does one person. And the reason I say do 2 spaces between each one is you do a bench up against the wall, then the table, then you have a bench for this side, and then you have a bench for this side, and you do that all the way down. Now, if you were playing this normally, no way in the world would you ever think of building a canteen this big. You may work with a few tables, maybe 3 or 4 tables, but never would you start out with something this big. We have another auto save here. I don't know if the auto saves are kind of freezing it up a little bit for you guys. But it definitely freezes up here, lags a little bit, so I'm not sure if that's affecting the video quality or not. Excuse me. So now we're just gonna have to wait and wait until some of these other tables and things get put in. Not much else I can do in here anyway. Not much I need to do. We're going to put a couple of trash cans in. I think we'll just stick those right there. That looks good. Now, this is something that most of you are not going to do for a very long time into your prison. But I'm going to do it now because money, again, is not an issue. We're going to put in some metal detectors. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about metal detectors. Metal detectors are very expensive, but they work. The sole purpose of them is they're used to detect contraband, weapons, spoons, forks, knives, hammers, screwdrivers, I don't know, all kinds of different things that are able to be gathered. Definitely a good idea to put these in. You usually want to put them in places where large groups gather together, usually a yard. Yard, canteen, showers sometimes. Usually I don't with the showers, but sometimes you can. But definitely the canteen is a place where they can gather spoons, forks, and knives, I believe. They can get all kinds of different stuff from here. So if you put metal detectors on here, it greatly reduces the risk of prisoners actually taking contraband from here that can be used later to hurt them. Let's see. With my staff here, if you've noticed, most of this stuff is already unlocked. We're going to go ahead and start researching. We want to do contraband. Actually, probably do contraband last. I want to do deployment, and I want to do patrols. I also want to do prison policy. But none of that's going to actually start researching because we do not have a chief yet. If we hire a chief, he'll go straight to his office. Also, we can't hire a foreman yet because we don't have enough daily budget because we don't have prisoners. Now I think is probably a good time to go ahead and turn on the prisoners. We're going to start with low risk. Just because we don't have split up cells, we don't want a bunch of high risk guys all shoved together in one holding cell. Last thing we're going to do here before I end this is I'm going to go ahead and run an electrical cable out here to what is eventually going to be our showers. I'll probably go ahead and throw these together real quick just to show you. But other than that, not too fancy here. You just mark it off as showers. You grab shower heads. I usually leave a space between them and run them all the way up and down the walls. Okay, so now there's another thing we're going to do here. Just because these are actually, this is a huge room, we're going to go ahead and put some of these like brick walls in here. We're going to do, how do I want to do this? We'll do it like this. We'll offset them, sort of like that. By offsetting them like that, what this allows me to do is I can come in here and I can stick a shower head on each of these walls. There's 4 sides to a wall, so that gives me an additional 4 shower heads. Now if you notice here, we put all these extra shower heads in, so this will be great. Gives me all these, the ability for all kinds of prisoners to take a shower in there at one time, which is good. We're also going to need some water piping here, so I ran big pipe along the outside, a small pipe along the inside. The thing with these are, small pipe only goes a certain distance, so you have to be very mindful of that. It can cause an issue since they only run a certain length. You have to remember, always use big pipe, but only small pipe will actually connect to things, so keep that in mind. Alright, I think we got all of these hooked up. I'm not mistaken. So that should be good. Once they install this piping, all the flashing water lights will go away, and we should have a working shower. Also, since we enable prisoners, you can see in 13 hours we'll have prisoners. Next video, I guess the prisoners will start coming in, and we'll have to start hiring some guards and setting up some patrols and things, and I'll show you what that's all about. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment, like, also subscribe if you haven't. Stay tuned for more videos from a lot of different games. And definitely stay tuned for the second part of our Prison Architect video. Thanks for watching.